I'm doing my brakes on the WRX on the front. I did them on the back like a month or two ago, and the fronts are due as well. So I'm getting them done right before they destroy my rotors. So I've had this car for about 3 years or so way before I ever had a YouTube channel, at least where I made videos. But when I got it, I upgraded the front brakes to the 4-piston calipers off of a 06 or 07 WRX, so you can see that. Normally it's just a floating caliper on here. And people always say, people don't always say this, but people think that you need high temp caliper paint, and I'm sort of gonna go over why maybe you should and maybe you shouldn't use high temp caliper paint. Now, as you can tell, this has not fared very well over the years. As you can see, these nicks are probably from me hitting it with a wheel when taking the wheels off. These are from me just now getting the pins out because they didn't have really any grease on them. So I pried them out with a screwdriver and the paint chipped off real easy. And the actual color is actually like a pink, like an STI pink. It looks sort of orangish red in the camera, but this is still looking a little pink. But the front of the caliper quickly turned red, and I think part of that was it's sitting in the sun. But now it's almost like a peach color, like a salmon. It's lost almost all of its pigment, and it's actually going like white, like right there, which is sort of odd. And I attribute most of this due to me just using regular paint. This was like literally standard dirt cheap Rust-Oleum. So I painted them pink because I wanted them to match the Subaru logo, but obviously that didn't work out too well. I scraped a bunch of the paint off this. I'm going to hit it with some sandpaper because I'm just going to repaint them real quick, again with crappy paint, just because I don't have caliper paint on me and I've got loads of crappy paint sitting around. And I mean, honestly, for the first year it lasted pretty well. And this wasn't due to like bad prep or anything, because I prepped these really well last time, like sanded them down with all sorts of different grits, you know, acetone to clean them off before, and painted it, let it cure, bunch of coats of clear coat as well. But the heat, this paint just wasn't made to deal with the heat. Now I wanted to show you guys something. So there's my rotors, here's my pads, and see, I took them off with just barely some life left. And what's cool is a lot of times on pads they'll have a wear indicator that'll show you that you know, you need to replace your pads, or it'll tell you by squeaking. And usually it's like a little metal tab that comes out and then sticks forward, and it's just a like thin sheet metal bent to where it touches the rotor. Well, on this one it's really obnoxious, but it works really well. As you can see, there is you have your pad surface itself, and then down here you have these two dots. Get this thing to focus. There we go. We have these two dots, and see, those have a certain height on them, and once it hits that height, it actually starts scraping on the rotor. If I put the pad in its correct orientation like that, it scrapes on the inner, let's see, radius of that rotor, so you can see there's a shiny spot where it's been wearing in. So it sounds super horrible and it makes an annoying noise, but it works really well because you know exactly when you need to replace them, and you don't end up destroying your rotors. So before, wow, I'm sweaty. Before someone says something, I'm just pad slapping, I'm just throwing pads on because I'm waiting for decent pads to come in the mail. These are just cheapy AutoZone pads, so I don't destroy those rotors. I don't know if I already said that. So I just realized I painted the whole caliper without recording any of it, but it looks quite good, a lot better than it did before. I'm just going to leave the Subaru unpainted. I think from the factory that was painted white, but I don't have any white paint and I'm sort of in a rush, so I'm just going to leave it like that and call it a day. So calipers are all painted up, brake pads are in and greased up, so I'm going to throw the tires on and go give it a rip and see how she feels. My dumbass was in a rush to get out of here and go see how they work, and I forgot to tighten the caliper bolts. And I could take the wheels off, but that would mean that I have to jack it up and take the wheels off again when I can reach the bolts like this, which is only slightly pain in the ass. Nice one, Spencer. Alright, bottom one is tight. Top one is plenty tight. I'm good to go. Before I do go though, damn boy, look how good those look. So much better. Nice and red. Beautiful. Now, I can go sit in my air-conditioned car and take it for a cruise and see how much better my brakes are working. Those old pads, they were StopTech pads, so they're decent pads, but I think I put too much heat through them too many times. Sorry, I thought my face was dirty. And they just sort of lost their grip. They were really garbage. That's why I'm not going to go with another set of StopTech pads, because God, they were a street pad and they stopped working like completely as a street pad, which really sucks. A lot of you have noticed I have a push bar on the front of my car. It's nice because it allows me to do stuff like this. Put my camera down. There we go. Nice and slow. Doesn't touch my paint. That car's already wrecked. And the e-brake. I've got the e-brake on so it doesn't roll too much, at least. Beautiful, and she's in. Oh gosh, I tried to push it in, but it wasn't happening. And my car, push bar's looking good. This car doesn't matter. Jeez, I am so disgusting feeling. I'm gonna turn my AC on, even though it's not gonna help with the audio, but I'm dying of heat right now. It is like extraordinarily hot today. I feel like I'm dying. I need some water. But what I'm trying to say, the whole reason I turned the camera on is like a minute of driving, and I can already tell the hugest difference. Like, it is so much better. It had to have been just I've like heat cycled. I don't know if that's the correct term for brake pads, but heat cycled them more like too many times, gotten them too warm, because they still had they had a tiny bit of life left, but I imagine it's the same formula through the whole pad, and they just stopped grabbing like completely. Like, couldn't even get my brakes to lock up. And they're not the crappiest or AutoZone pads, but they're like the second crappiest. They're Duralast Gold, and they feel better than my StopTechs. So I can't complain too much about that, because it was cheap and it'll hold me over until I can get some real pads. Oh yeah, the feel is just way better. I can't believe they felt so bad being StopTechs. Blows my mind. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. It's just a quick little short vid. Figured I'd get something out there. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button on this video. Leave me a comment down below letting me know if you've ever ran StopTech pads before. I'm curious if you guys have ran StopTech pads. Did you have a similar experience, or did you like them? Because like a year ago I would have said that I liked them a lot, but now I wouldn't buy them again. So I don't know. I actually really used to enjoy them, but they sort of just got real bad real quick. So let me know what your experience is with them, or what kind of pads you like to run. Thanks a lot. Peace out.